Guys, it's Denise with Create Your Future. Thanks for joining me for today's video. I wanted to talk about rejection and have some, I have some affirmations to move through that. So before we get started, as always, set your intentions to get the most out of this video and to, for it to create that, you start applying techniques and applying mental diet so that you can create what you want in your life. If you're interested in signing up for coaching, the link is in the description below. We have an amazing team. All right, so rejection. So when we are faced with rejection or holding ourselves in the place of focusing on rejection, feeling that we have been rejected, maybe we've manifested rejection in our past and we're holding on to that, feeling that we're rejected through our current situation, whatever it is, what that's doing is just holding us in the place of not getting what we want. And it will just perpetuate and continue that we repeatedly manifest scenarios that we can interpret and do interpret as rejection. So, it basically, what it's doing is if you're frozen in fear of rejection or focused heavily on a rejection story, it's either going to keep you from taking the action that will get you what you want, or it's going to just keep you from allowing in what you want. And you don't ever have to take the action. Sometimes it makes things move along a lot faster. It just depends on your creation of it, your perception of it, your belief behind it. But either way, if you're afraid to take action, you're also not allowing anyone else or the outside world, the universe, to take action toward you. You're just pinching it off. You're holding it away. You're pushing it out. So it's kind of like the foundation or like the primer. Like that's another analogy I've been using lately is if you're repainting something like a car or something that's not, something that's slippery, I guess. I'm not a painter, but you need a primer. Otherwise that new paint is just going to drip down. It's not going to stick. If you're building a house, you need a foundation. The walls won't stand. They'll be weak. Things will crumble. Same kind of thing. Like if you have an underlying rejection story, that's not a solid foundation. It's not a good primer. And whatever you try to put on top of that, it might show up here and there. You might get a little bit of it, but it's not going to stick. And it will likely just perpetuate a longer rejection story or more, because now you've put in this effort and you're trying to gain headway and make progress. And because the rejection story is still there, it's going to manifest in a way that you're able to interpret as rejection. And now you've just added another situation or another few weeks or, another interpretation of rejection. So again, with everything else in manifesting or using the law of assumption, the first step is accountability and reminding yourself that you've manifested it, you've created it. You were rejecting yourself based on false beliefs. Now you are moving into the place of getting beyond that. Now that's one story. And then the other story is giving meaning to what actually happened in the 3D. So the bigger picture is you are accountable. You've created it. You're powerful. You manifested it. Now you're shifting your thoughts to create something different. But the smaller human story is whatever. They weren't ready. They were afraid of their feelings. They had a lot going on in their lives. This is obviously related to a specific person. If it's finances, it's just, it wasn't the right time for me. If it's a new job, again, it wasn't the right time. That company wasn't ready. That wasn't the right position. That wasn't the right company. I'm still getting closer to what I want. And like continuing to just kind of massage that into your mental diet, that you can take something that seemed like rejection and turn it into a story that actually you have your power now. Like, I'm just getting clear. I'm just figuring out what I want. So it's just super important to understand and be aware of what your story is. If you have a rejection story or a heavy fear of rejection, and you're trying to manifest for your specific person to text message you or flirt with you or compliment you or take you on a date, it's very likely that those things won't stick. If you're feeling rejected, to manifest for the evidence of not feeling rejected is just going to put you in a cycle of perpetuating rejection. So I would suggest to really focus on manifesting for feeling like you're worthy of being pursued first. And those other things will fall into place. If you have a foundational belief that you're good enough, that you deserve to have what you want, even if you're on your way to creating a foundational belief, you don't have it. But if that's where you're putting your dominant attention day to day, I'm good enough to have this, I deserve to have this, this thing wants me. If you're really redirecting yourself to think that way about yourself, all the evidences of it will happen naturally just as a result of believing that or of focusing on that and creating that for yourself. You'll start to get the messages. You'll start to get the compliments and the flirtatious responses. The money will start coming in. The interviews will start piling up. Things will start moving in that direction. That said, now you also can continue to manifest for these little things, little steps and things along the way. Just don't use them as the evidence to show that your SP isn't rejecting you, because it will backfire and it won't get you where you want to be. And we want to get you where you want to be. So that said, I have some intentions, I guess more like affirmations for dealing with and moving through rejection. Again, as always, when I say these, if you're writing them down, that's great, but revisit them and use words that you would use. If worthy isn't something you would say deserving, or because I deserve, or am good enough. Find the ways that speak to you, because that's like the most important part. You're talking to your subconscious mind. I feel like I say this a lot, but you're talking to your subconscious mind. So you want to do it in the way that you communicate with yourself. How do you think? How do you talk? How do you speak? How do you relate, translate things? So that's how you want to do this. So I'm going to go through these. I'll leave a little bit of space in between if you are writing them down. But obviously this video is here, so you can just keep going back to it and referring to it. Okay, so I accept and appreciate myself. I see my value and I make myself a priority. I am worthy of being pursued. I am worthy of my SP's time and attention. I know that I add value to the lives of people around me. I am good enough to have what I want. What I want also wants me. I am that which I am seeking. I feel desired and loved. I feel cherished and appreciated. I am chosen and I'm worth the effort. My SP pursues me and is lucky to have me. My SP prioritizes me and shows me that I'm important. My SP is becoming a better person for me. They're moving mountains to be with me. My SP appreciates our connection and this relationship. I feel safe to be myself. I am more than enough just the way I am. During this time, I've been getting clear on what I want and how I want it, and it's showing up now. All right, so there's some affirmations that you can use for moving through rejection, creating confidence in yourself, creating that foundation of being valued, knowing that you're good enough, and play around with them, switch up the wording how you want. But there's some concepts to go with. So that pretty much sums it up. So just to kind of recap, holding on to rejection is going to hold you in the reality that you don't want. or it's going to change it subtly, but in ways that probably won't benefit you in the long run. So working on your foundational like belief or your concept of your self-worthiness, your deservedness, you being good enough, you being desired by things around you, you being desired by the things that you desire, that's what's going to get all the things that you want to come through to actually come through in the way you want them and for them to stick and stay that way. And then again, going over that story, you know, the bigger picture is I've created this time. I'm getting clear if there has been a period of rejection or a period of no contact or, you know, lacking, not having the thing you want. And then the smaller picture is that, you know, they weren't ready. They were afraid of their feelings. They were so overwhelmed with their emotions and their love that they just couldn't handle it at that time. Something that you can tell yourself to get over that, that feeling, and just reminding yourself also, again, big picture, you're accountable for it. You created it. It's really no big deal. All of this is our creation. It all comes from us. It's us communicating with us through us. So be lighter about it. It's not that big of a deal. You always say and do the right thing, and you're perfect just the way you are. All right. So I hope that helps you guys out there. And thanks for liking, sharing, subscribing, and I think hitting the bell icon. I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day and have fun manifesting the life that you desire. All right. Bye.